Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm here under the shade area today at the garden centre talking to you about how to grow Japanese maples or acers. So Japanese maples are one of the more popular trees and shrubs that we do, particularly if you've got a shaded area in your garden. They love shady conditions. They grow, obviously, Japanese maples, Acer palmatum varieties. They grow sort of in forest areas under the cover of the hot sun, and are one of the more popular shrubs that we grow here in the UK. But people seem to worry about how to grow them and they think they're very difficult to grow. So hopefully in this little video, I'll explain it all and make it quite clear for you. So Japanese maples are very slow growing trees. They'll grow on average at just about a foot a year if you're lucky, which explains why they're quite expensive. The nurseries take a long time to get them from a very small plant. I mean, this size, this will be just a couple of years old. This is Acer palmatum atropurpureum, and this is just a little 9 centimetre pot. This is about a foot tall and probably be about 3 to 4 years old perhaps, so quite a young plant. But they do take a long time to grow at the nursery, hence the cost. I mean, big maple trees, you're looking upwards of £200 or £300, and you can get them up to £1,000 as well, but they're very established trees. So do take care of them. If you are going to spend some money on one, do make sure you take care and look after it. So acers come in all sorts of shapes and sizes and colours as well. Most people know the acer as being a red foliage tree. This one is Acer palmatum garnet. This is Acer garnet. This one is a very popular variety, very ferny leaves, nice dark purple colour. In the autumn, most of the Japanese maples will turn a coppery bronze colour as the temperatures drop. So we're filming this sort of mid-August. In the next 6 to 8 weeks, I would imagine these will start to turn colour. And the autumn show they put on is brilliant. There's nice, bright, vibrant colours on these before the leaves finally drop. Usually about the end of October or November, depending on how cold the season is. So if it's a mild winter or a mild autumn, they'll last on the tree a bit longer and you'll get that autumn colour for longer. If it's a sharp spell of cold weather, these can turn colour within a matter of weeks and the leaves will then drop off for the winter. So just to illustrate the different colours, this is an acer called Anne Irene, so completely different leaf shape to Acer garnet. This is a much bigger leaf and a much different colour as well. This is like a lime green colour. Again, this will turn an orangey colour before the leaves drop off in the winter. Now all acers are fully hardy, and actually because they're deciduous and they drop their leaves in the winter, they can tolerate quite cold winters, maybe better than some evergreen plants can, because they're completely dormant all winter long until about February or March time. So you don't generally need to fleece these at all. You can just leave the leaves drop off naturally, and in the spring, when you get to about April or May time, as we come into the summer, if there's been a very cold snap in the winter, you sometimes get a little bit of dieback in the top inch or two of these stems. You can cut these back with a pair of secateurs and the plant will generally bush up quite nicely again. As I mentioned previously, these are slow growing, so don't expect much more than about 1 foot a year out of these. Makes them ideal for containers and larger sort of border areas in the shade, but they'll take a long time to get established. There's no need to worry about potting on every year either. So once you've got these into a decent sized pot, this for example, this is in about a 6-inch wide pot. It would stay in this pot probably for the rest of the season if you wanted to. Alternatively, you can pot it on into something like an 18-inch wide glazed pot if you can. Glazed and stone pots are always better than plastic pots for the spring summer season because they keep the roots cooler for longer. So just to illustrate the difference in leaf shape and colour, this is one called Acer Summer Gold. This is Acer palmatum Summer Gold, a nice bright yellowy colour, and again this one in the autumn will turn a bright orange as the temperatures drop. A couple of care tips for your acers. As you can see, I'm in the shade area this morning at the garden centre. Acers need protection from the sun. The leaves on these can be quite fragile, and if it's very hot sun, which we haven't really had this year anyway, but if we do get hot sun on them, the leaves can scorch quite easily. We get a lot of customers coming in and say the tips of the leaves have gone brown, especially on the younger growth. This can be a result of the leaf basically burning in the sunshine, so do keep them out of the sun if you can. Also as well, we try to keep the acers out of windy conditions because again, the leaves can get wind scorch, particularly on the tips. So perhaps if you've got an acer in the garden, maybe just one side has gone brown, it could be the result of a wind that's blown on them, a cold wind perhaps in the early season that's made the leaves go brown. Finally, with acers, all acers need to have ericaceous compost. That's the acid compost. Helps keep the colour better on them. It's extra iron in the compost, so make sure you get the ericaceous compost. You'll generally find it in pink bags in garden centres. You can also get an ericaceous plant food as well. That's sort of high in iron, so that will feed the leaves and keep them nice and healthy. And you can use that feed on things like forest flames, rhododendrons, azaleas, even blueberries in the vegetable garden or the fruit garden as well. So make sure you give them plenty of food, acid compost, shade from the sun and protection from the wind. So just round off our Acer, little Acer talk with another variety. This is quite an established plant. This is Acer palmatum dissectum. So dissectum means very finely cut leaves. Lots of shrubs have got dissectum in the name, and it basically means the leaves are very fine and ferny. And this one, if I just sort of spin this around slowly, this is a very established one. You can see it's weeping across here quite nicely. This will cost you just over £100. So I can see they are very expensive plants. If you are going to buy an Acer, do make sure you follow the tips I've given you and you'll have success. So hopefully I've given you some good information about how to grow Japanese maples or Acers. As usual, if you want to give us a ring to order any of these for home delivery, you can do. Our phone number is 01543 254 306. We're open 6 days a week at the moment. You can get to us. Don't forget the roadworks still in place at Water Lane, so you'll have to use the diversion route. But we've got plenty of Acers in stock. There's more coming in the autumn, and hopefully we'll see you soon.